Okay, fifth graders, today is October 24th, and we are continuing on with what we know about multiplying decimals and multiplying numbers. And today in Module 2, Lesson 13, we're going to extend what we know about multiplying numbers to convert units of measurement. Okay, so as you know, there's lots of different kinds of things we measure, including time, weight, length, capacity, volume, money, and all these different things that we measure have different units of measurement, right? There's not just one way we measure time. We can measure time in days, weeks, seconds, months, minutes, hours, years, centuries, right? And so on and so forth. Same thing with length. We measure length using inches, feet, yards, miles, not grams, meters, millimeters, kilometers, I should say. So because we have so many different ways to measure things, we need to be able to convert from one unit of measurement to another, and that's what we're going to do today. You should have already gone over the problem of the day with your sub, but if not, pause the video right now to make sure you write down what the question's asking, what the important information is, and then use pictures, words, and numbers to show how you know. Pause the video now so that you can check your answer with what comes next. So, because we know that there are 10 days in 2 weeks of school, and we know that she spends $1.25 each day on lunch, and every Friday she spends 55 cents, we know that with just the lunch, it would be 1.25 times 10, which is 12.5. And then for the 2 Fridays, where she spends the extra 55 cents to make a snack, we know that that would be $1.10. So altogether, she spends $13.60 in 2 weeks of school. Okay, fifth graders, I need to preface this by saying that this is one of those things where format counts. Okay, whenever you convert units of measurement, I want you to write it out in this exact way, and I will explain to you why in the future, but for right now, just take my word for it. Okay, so here's the format. When you're given a problem, for example, this problem tells us we want to convert 3 weeks and we want to find out how many days are in 3 weeks. We're converting from an old measurement that's given to us, weeks, into a new measurement, days. We're converting from weeks to days, and that's what it means that we're converting units of measurement. So before we fill in the blank, you might already know, you should know, right? Because you know that there's 7 days in 1 week. But in order to follow this formula, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the first, we're going to write equals, and 3 times 1 week. You'll see we're still using the old units there, okay? Because 3 weeks is 3 copies of 1 week, which is the same as 3 copies of 7 days. Okay, you'll notice we just changed units. We changed from the old unit, weeks, to the new unit, days. Everything in our parentheses, 1 week, needs to be equivalent to what's still in our parentheses, which is 7 days. Do you agree that 1 week is 7 days? I think so. Good. So you can see what's inside our parentheses is equivalent. And now that we're using our now that we're in our new units that we're looking for, which is days, right? Days, we are ready to multiply. 3 times 7 is 21. So therefore, 3 weeks is the same as 21 days. Pause it right now to write this down. Copy it exactly how you see on the video. Now let's use the same format to try another one. Now we're converting from meters. Our old unit is going to be meters. M stands for meters. And our new unit is centimeters. This question is asking us to find out how many centimeters are in 1.05 meters. Okay, so we know that 1.05 is 1.05 copies of 1 meter. You'll notice it's still our old units. Well, we know that's going to be the same as 1.05 copies of some number of centimeters. You'll see that we converted from our old unit. Now we're switching over and thinking about our new unit. You'll see in our parentheses we have 1 meter. So in our parentheses, I want to put exactly the same as 1 meter. Well, I know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Again, I cannot stress this enough. It's super crucial that whatever you put in your parentheses is equivalent. Okay, I'm just changing from the old unit, meters, to the new unit, centimeters. Now that I'm in my new unit, centimeters, that's where I'm trying to end up, I'm ready to multiply. 1.05 times 100 would mean I shift the digits 2 spaces over to the left. So it looks like my decimal point moves 2 spaces over to the right, right? So 1.05 times 100 is 105. So therefore, 1.05 meters is the same as 105 centimeters. And there's our final answer. We did the conversion. We've converted or changed from meters to centimeters. Again, pause the video so you have time to take good math notes. Please make sure that you are writing this down exactly how I explain it. You have the problem. You have one line with an equal sign where you write how many copies of the old units using parentheses. Then you write how many equals and then how many copies of the new units. And then you finally do the multiplication. So when you do unit conversions, there should always be 4 lines of work. Okay, let's try this one together. Our old unit is meters. We're trying to find out how many centimeters are in 0.09 meters. Okay, so equals 0.09 meters is the same as 0.09 copies of 1 meter. You'll see I keep it in my old units, still in meters. And I put those parentheses because it'll help me later on. Okay, this is still equal to 0.09 copies of, and now in my parentheses, I want to change it to my new units, which is centimeters. Well, I need to know how many centimeters are in 1 meter so that whatever is inside my parentheses will be equal. I know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So everything, once again, everything inside my parentheses is equivalent. It's like saying I have 2 apples and then I have 2 apples. I know it's a weird example, but I have 2 of exactly the same thing. Okay, maybe that didn't work, but that's okay. Now I'm ready to multiply because I have my new units ready to go. So I just have to do 0.09 times 100, and I know when I do that, the digits will shift 2 times to the left, so what I'm left with is 9 centimeters. So therefore, 0.09 meters is equivalent to 9 centimeters. Let's try this example. I still have 0.09 meters, but this time I'm trying to convert to millimeters. Okay, so I know I'm going to write the same step, equals to 0.09 copies. It's always going to be of 1 of the old unit. In this case, it's 1 meter. My second line, this is still equivalent or equal to 0.09 copies, but this time I want to say of how many millimeters. Well, I know that there are 1,000 millimeters in 1 meter. So again, everything inside my parentheses is equivalent. And now this is, I know when I have to multiply 0.09 by 1,000, all the digits shift 3 times to the left. If I do that, I end up with 90 millimeters. So therefore, 0.09 meters is equivalent to 90 millimeters. I hope by now you're seeing the pattern of how to do these unit conversions. It's really simple if you follow this pattern, which is why I'm insisting that for now at least, you follow this pattern and write down every step of your thinking. Okay, this question says a crate of apples weighs 5.7 kilograms and we have to convert it to grams. So basically what it's asking us is 5.7 kilograms equals how many grams? We're converting from kilograms as our old unit to grams as our new unit. Okay, so it's really easy. All we have to do is follow the same pattern. Equals 5.7 copies of 1 of our old unit, which of course is kilograms. And then this is going to equal to 5.7 copies of our new unit, which is grams. We have to find out how many grams are in 1 kilogram. This will help ensure, and we do this by making sure everything in our parentheses is the same. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. I hope by now you're seeing why it's important to know these conversions in your head. Okay, so I do 5.7 times 1,000, which would make the digit shift 3 times to the left. So it'd be 5700, 5,700 grams. Okay, 5th graders, you have some time to practice this by doing the following problems in your Lesson 13 problem set. Then please do the exit ticket and reinforce your learning with Lesson 13 of Zern. Thanks.